life-changing. Like I tell kids and they think it's corny, but like the rest of my life, when people mention me, they got to mention Super Bowl champion. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
It's like, not for real. Like I know that sound like, like I'm trying to like, blow myself up, but it's just the truth. When people meet me, they say, "Oh, wow, you played for the Super Bowl champion." Like I'm like, "Yeah, that's your boy." You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That was one of the greatest the games of my life, days of my life. I still remember where I was. I was at my grandma's house with my entire family. We were going
Yeah.
crazy during that Super Bowl win, man. So I was that was exhilarating, and that whole season was crazy too, right?
I know. Yeah.
It was wild. So just to have you on, man, is awesome again, man. So I owe you one. Thank you, because I'm the
No,
greatest
you
sports memory
owe
of
me
my life, man.
shit,
I
man.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.
No, it's all good, bro.
No, man, that's awesome.
Man, you guys ready to start?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. What's up?
All right. Bench Mob, we are back for another installment of the Bench Mob podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us, the father, a coach, and as we already have mentioned it, a Super Bowl champion. Tank Daniels, how are you doing today? How's everything going with COVID and Christmas around the corner? How's everything, man?
Yo, man, thanks for having me on the show. Everything's going good. I mean, just like everybody else, every day's a challenge. I'm a teacher, so like, and a coach. So like, every day that I go to school, I'm like, do we have school tomorrow? With COVID and the social distance and like pull your mask over your nose. And like I joke about it, but it's really not a joke, it's like the truth. Like my wife and I, we met each other when I was in the NFL, which means we're never together. And now you get COVID and we hear it all the time. So like I know that's like the running joke, but it's like a true thing. But like we're all good. Being at school and with the numbers and stuff getting so high, like when it first started, it was like I don't know how you guys are, but like I didn't know anybody like that had COVID. Like, oh man, like, oh, this guy got COVID. But like it's so rampant now that like, yeah, like my neighbor that lives right here to my right, her and her husband had it. A guy down the street had it and died. Another guy, the craziest story, and like, sorry for rambling. I just moved to the town that I live in, and the guy was walking, and I'm a country boy, man. So he walked by. I was like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Tank." We shook hands and everything. He was like, "Yeah, I just, got over COVID." And I was like, "Oh shit, I'm about to get sick." You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But nah, like like every day is a challenge. I really think through this time period, it's actually like, as much as it can tear families apart, I know for my own family, like it's like bringing us together. Like like it was just my immediate family, like with everything we do, and so like for me personally, I feel like it's making me be a better husband, be a better dad. When I'm home, like making sure I'm spending like quality time with my kids and stuff.
That's dope.
Yeah.
What do you teach, by the way? Because my mom's a teacher, and I know she goes through that. That she teaches first grade. She goes through that struggle of, are we going to have school today? Are we not going to have school today? So, what do you actually teach?
So I teach phys ed and driver's ed at a Catholic school here in New Jersey, and so like what's crazy about that is like I'm the most popular teacher during COVID. Because like, although you may not be in school, like when you turn 16, like I'm the way that you get your driver's permit. And so everybody's like, "Oh, can I get my permit? Can I?" Like I answer so many emails and stuff because of like COVID, and like, "Can I take my driver's test?" But like when we're not in school, like you can't put a driver's test like online. So like I'm like, unfortunately I can. And everybody's like, "Oh, well, what if I come to school for today?" Because at my school, you have a choice to like be virtual or come like physically. And so like, I think there's like maybe 150, 160 kids that choose to be virtual. So like teaching driver's ed, there's no phys ed during COVID, like you can't play games, you can't be around each other, can't touch the same object. And it's kind of hard to like ask somebody to be physically active, and truly wear a mask. So phys ed really don't do much with like physical education. We still do the health components and like the wellness components and the driver's ed. But like even for like my friends that teach like CPR and stuff, like you can't even do CPR. All the things that like in a normal year you do, like you can't do. So like it's a headache because like when you're a teacher, like it's like, well, what are you doing as a gym teacher? Like it almost seemed like we're getting paid to do nothing. And so it's always like I feel like we're being watched like the president, but like it's all good.
Oh, man.
2020 has been a changing year for everybody.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
man.
Greg.
No, it definitely has been, and I was thinking too. I know when Tony told me about the interview, and told me we were learning a little more about you. We learned that you actually started coaching, and
Yep.
which is like a reasonable transition after anyone
Cool.
plays at a high level like you have your whole life, right? But like, what
Yep.
inspired you to get into coaching at that level?
So for me, like my dad died when I was 2. And so like my coaches, I played every sport. Like seriously, I played football, baseball, basketball. I ran track. And when I tell my kids that now, they're like, Coach, you lying. Like, because like being a country boy, like growing up, like you didn't specialize in sports. Like I played whatever sport that was in season. And so like not having a father, like coaches has always been like a father figure to me. And like honestly, I could truly tell you, like from my teenage years, like I knew that I wanted to be a coach because like I looked at coaches that looked nothing like me, white guys that like loved me, took me in, and like just truly showed me like what it was to be a man. Like I'm one of 4. I have an older brother and I have 2 older sisters, but like my coaches like kind of showed me how it was to be a man through sports. And so like I was like, I want to do that same thing. And I definitely like with me, I grew up with like about 6 or 7 like tight, all of us. We still talk. And when we see each other, it's like we just saw each other the other day. And like out of 6 guys that I grew up with, out of my boys, like only one of my friends had like a mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? So like it was a, prototypical like, Black childhood for me, like growing up without a father. I have a stepdad and like I love him to death, but like it was just a different type father figure than I wanted to be. So like coaching was like an easy like thing for me. Like that's my passion. Like I teach, but like coach is my passion. Like I love it. Like I've been coaching long enough now. Like I have kids that are in college and at big time schools and be like, thank you, coach, man. Like I love you. Happy birthday, sending happy Thanksgiving to my wife and stuff like that. That's what make it like, damn, like I hope I made an impact,
That's the biggest thing with coaching is the impact that you make on kids' lives and even adults if you're coaching on that level. It's the impact that you can create for the off the field things. Like you mentioned, you had a lot of basically people help you grow up to be a man, and that was through sports, through coaching, which a lot of people don't understand that don't play sports, how important sports is for just the physical activity and getting your exercise in.
Yeah, I think like, for the people that don't know or never experience it, it's like the discipline from sports, the rules, like everything you have to do. Like I love football, like I love basketball, baseball. Actually, what I thought was my favorite sport when I was a kid. I thought I was going to be Darryl Strawberry. Like that was my favorite player growing up. But like I only say that just to say like being a football player, like the game of football to me is like there's a direct correlation with like how it is like to be a man like in the real world. You know what I'm saying? Like you got rules to follow. It's tough. And like what makes me different was not that I was so good, that I was just willing to go farther than the next man would go. You know what I'm saying? And that's just for me, that's my little 2 cents. But like everything about the game of football like made me the man that I am today. And it's still like shaping me, like even as a coach.
You mentioned too that you played all the sports growing up, which I think a lot of kids back in that day, and even me and Greg's generation, pretty much played every sport.
Yeah.
Could it have been any other sport besides football? Like what made you choose that to be your one sport?
So I was actually really good at baseball. And I tell this story and everybody be like, "Oh, coach, you capping," or whatever they say now. But like playing baseball, like I'm from Arkansas, like I'm an 80s baby. And like if you were making it, either you were doing it in basketball or football. Like where I'm from, like there was never another black guy that made it with baseball. And so like it was like, all right, it almost forced me to like football. Like I played football just because, to be honest with you, but baseball was the first sport I played. I didn't play football until I was in the 9th grade. You know what I'm saying? So like playing baseball, I started baseball when I was 4 years old, and I played till I was 19. You know, and like so like baseball has been the majority of my life. And like but I could say the main reason I probably didn't is because like growing up down south in my little country town, it was like nobody ever made it with baseball. It was like I played basketball too. I couldn't dribble. So it was like, all right, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, all right, let me do football. And so I wasn't forced to do it, but like that's how I saw my way out.
That makes a lot of
Football
sense.
football was the best option because
Yes.
you didn't see
Yep.
anybody from baseball.
Man, I tell all my kids like now, like I'm at a really big school here, and like, but the kids here, like they think they struggle, but like when I grew up, my mom had two rules, and it was like either you get a scholarship or you going to the military, and like I was like, man, I ain't about that military life, nah, for real, bro. Like, and it's like I thank God that like I got a scholarship, so because I was the first one from my family to graduate college, and like my family, we there wasn't a college fund. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh, here's the money for your schooling. It was like, no, somebody paying for your school, or you going to army to pay for your school. So
No, I mean, you mentioned, playing baseball growing up, and I know one of the things that MLB wanted to do is like, and they're still trying to do is create pathways for like black communities to create like pathways to get to the league
yeah,
from there, right? So that way that doesn't happen. Someone as talented as you were, right, back then playing, they don't
yeah,
just go, hey, well, no one's ever done this before from where I'm from, so like,
yeah,
why I'm gonna go do something else that I know, there's a pathway for me to get there, right? There's a way.
yeah.
Um, I want to, dive back into like, you and playing football, right? And your
Okay.
career. And I know I saw that you went to Harding, a
Yep.
D2 school, right? But a
Yep.
two-time All-American. Like, what was that like
Yep.
playing there? And what was your recruitment process like, coming up?
So, like my biggest story, I tell kids, like learn from my mistakes. You know, not that I made it to the highest level, but like I really just try to preach, like learn from my mistakes. You know, going to public school, I was the cool kid. I was trying to like be the Mac Daddy, class clown. Never took school serious. You know, and like I had like at least 20 offers, and like I never passed my ACT. And so like for Division 1, like I was a non-qualifier. For Division 2, I was a partial qualifier, which meant they could still pay for my school and I could practice. And that's why I was like kind of almost forced to go D2, because D1 they couldn't pay for my school. They wanted me, but it was like, hey man, your test score is so low and your GPA so low. Like, hey, I can't give you any money. And D2 was like, hey, like you just make it to where we could give you money and you're at least eligible to practice. And so that's why I went to Harding. One of the kids that I used to like compete against all the time, his dad was like a coach there. And he was like, hey, man, like you're D1, but like if you can't go D1, go play for my dad. And like I was like, all right. And I went to a Christian college about an hour and 45 minutes from where I was born and raised. And I never had envisioned myself going to a Christian college. You know, like I said, I thought I was a cool kid. I was like, oh, I'm big time. I'm trying to go Ole Miss, Kentucky, Tennessee, you know, a big school down south. And like I went there, and honestly, like God's plan was better than my own, because like it made me like who I needed to be. So
Hey, you can't knock that, man.
yeah,
When whatever you plan doesn't go as planned, but God sets it up elsewhere.
yeah,
So, I mean, when things like that happen, all you can do is be thankful. And like you said, the thing is that a lot of people, which I appreciate coming from you, is the honesty. Hey, I didn't go D1 because I didn't do this. I didn't do what I was
yeah,
supposed to do. A lot of people, they
yep,
blame it on the coaches and the
yeah,
coaches, and and this, that, and the third. And nah, if I did what I was supposed to do, I would have went
Yeah.
D1.
Yeah, I know, man. But it was all me. And it was like like when I say like it made me a better person, like it really did. And like honestly, when I look back and like man, I won a Super Bowl. And like man, I played in the NFL for 5 years, and like I'll meet guys that never made it to the NFL, and but they played D1, and it's like, damn, like because that was my first goal, to be honest with you, was to play D1 football. That was my NFL. And like not being able to do that when I meet guys, and it's like, but man, you won the Super Bowl, and it's like, yeah, and I still love that, but like, I can't like go back and like change like my memory, because like my first goal was to play D1, and I don't know what it was about being a country boy, but it was like, hey, I want to be on TV. That was my thing, really. Like, yo, I want to be on TV, you know. So
I think that's everybody at some level, some degree, want to be on
yeah,
TV. I think the thing is now for our generation, we want to go viral and get a bunch
yeah,
of the likes and stuff. So if
yeah,
we could do that some way somehow, now you make it to the NFL, you don't get drafted, you get signed as a
yep.
free agent to the Eagles. How was your draft process? How was your mentality not getting drafted?
So my mentality was all screwed up. So like this was like, I feel like my group, my age group was that last age group, like being when you're a lower division, like like they really wasn't looking, like not at all. But like I had like 26, 24 teams at my pro day, and like I did great. I did everything that my agent like kind of wanted me to do. And like all these, I say all these, it was like 8 teams that like, yo, we're going to get you in late rounds. Like I can't even look at you and say like, oh, I thought I would have been fourth round. Like I like my goal was like sixth, seventh round. And so like doing my time, hell, I feel, oh, I'm only 38, but like during my time, the draft was like 3 days, and I'll never forget this. And like I can forget a lot of stuff, but I remember this to the T. I go to church, and like you know, like I go worship whatnot. I go home, and then I like turn on the draft, and then it's like okay, it's like fifth, sixth, and seventh round. Then I'm like, all right, like the fifth round, I'm like looking, but I'm like the teams that were picking was not like hadn't been talking to me. Seventh round, like I'm looking like okay, like here we go. Detroit was talking to me. Jacksonville was talking to me. Indianapolis Colts. And so it was like all these guys was picking. Then I'm like, oh, damn, they didn't get me. They didn't get me. This guy didn't get me. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm about to be Mr. Irrelevant. And then it was like the last pick. They picked somebody else, of course. And then I went from thinking I was going to be Mr. Irrelevant to like, damn, man, like my life over. Like I got to get a real job. You know what I'm saying? But like as soon as the draft was over, the Eagles called me, and they were the first team that like I just picked up. Like I don't know if somebody else was trying to call me, not to be completely honest, but the Eagles called me. They was like, "Hey, like I want to bring you in as a free agent. Like, are you excited about that?" And I was like, "Yes, sir." And I was like, "Yo, I can't wait to get there." Next day, I flew out, started training. I didn't even walk. And like the weirdest thing, I have my diploma to this day. My biggest accomplishment has been the first one in my family to graduate. But like the next day was like graduation, but it was also the start of training camp, or not training camp, mini camp with the Eagles. And I was like, don't even worry about it. Like, screw that. It ain't about walking, like for real. Like, and like I sometimes I second guess it a little bit because like they wouldn't embrace that, but like it was like, nah, forget walking. Like it's rather walk and graduate or like be at an NFL mini camp. And so I was like, nah, I'm out. This, yeah, I know I got my degree. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, it was. I think that was a good decision.
yeah, yeah, but like it was such a like when I say I really I wouldn't change too much about like my whole story, to be honest with you. Like being in Philly, like with Donovan McNabb, Jeremiah Trotter, Brian Dawkins, Brian Westbrook, Carell Buckhalter, like guys at Trent Cole, like just so many guys that kind of just took me under their wing. When I was my rookie year, a cool story, and really like one of the coolest stories that I honestly tell everybody is like it was Donovan McNabb's 30th birthday party. And like I'm a rookie. I'm poor as hell. And like he had a birthday party. He invited the whole team, and it was me and the other rookies. And we are like, yo, like, what do we get somebody that got everything? I'm like, man, this is the Campbell soup guy. You know what I'm saying? So of course, just being like the hood guy that I am, we didn't get him anything. so like we go my first NFL party. It was a concert. I never went to a party before that I got a gift by going to the party. Like we had like party favorites, and I'm like, oh wow, like yo, the NFL is like, yo, the NFL like crunk or whatever. And like he had Naughty by Nature come perform, like MC Light, everybody, like I'm the baby in my family. So he's about the same age as like my older sister, right? And so he had all these people that I grew up listening to, but it was like a rumor that Beyonce was gonna be there, right? And so I'm like, yo, Beyonce gonna be here. But like then MC Light ended up coming out and Yo, and then was like, shit. But like it was but when I think about it, it was still just like cool as hell, man. Like if you from where I'm from, like you don't meet people, you don't party with people like that, but like so many like cool and great experiences. Like guys like McNabb and Dawkins like invite me into their home for like, Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like that's what made it real.
That sounds like a dope experience, and that's a great way to start off a rookie year playing with those greats and Hall of Famers. Like, how was that, especially on that Eagles defense? The names Dawkins that you just mentioned. Like, how was that?
Brian Dawkins is by far the strongest man like I know to this day, and what I mean by that is like just his like his belief and what he believe in, like he lives it. He don't do it for show. He don't do it for the gram or TV. Like this guy live it. And like just from afar, like I would just watch, like honestly, like his every move, by the way he practiced, by the way he talked, like I would say honestly, like one of my struggles, like is like my language sometimes. Like when I'm competing, I probably don't talk the way that I know that I should talk. But like I would watch Dawkins, and I'll never forget this. My very first game, because I started out on the practice squad, but my very first game, we played the Indianapolis Colts, and like this guy, like how cold you got to be to have an alter ego, and like this guy was Weapon X, you know what I'm saying? And like I remember like coming in at halftime, like they were beating us. Of course, they had Peyton Manning and everybody. And he was like, "Man, we letting these jive turkeys beat us." I'm like, "Damn, did this guy just say like jive turkeys?" Or gosh almighty, just I'm like Jiminy Crickets, and I'm like, yo, like, man, everybody else, saying like, whatever, but like he just lived it, man, and like I still respect that to this day, because like in a day of like just, I think just being frauds and being fake, like here's a guy that like truly lived it and lived it every day. Didn't matter if he was around the free agent guy from Arkansas that didn't have a pot to piss in, or he was around, owners of teams. Just a true like man. And like I know for me, like this stuff just stuck out to me. The same as like, like Jeremiah Trotter, and like I played with the Freak, like just guys that were just like, yo, like I grew up like saying that I was you guys, like, you know what I'm saying? And to be able to play with them, like what a blessing, man.
That's dope. We don't have a lot of people like that nowadays that's genuine.
Yeah. So, but like, like it was just a really good time. I would say it was a life-changing experience, being a country boy, moving to Philly. I actually moved to South Jersey, but like I remember like going down to like South Street and like Old City, like in Philly, like I'm like, yo, like this is crazy. Like, yeah, man, like I like my town don't even have a stoplight. You know what I'm saying? And like being in Philly, it's a damn train going down the middle of the street, and like just crazy stuff. Like so it definitely opened my eyes, but I always like love Philly. like for me, like my friends that just played for like one or two teams, like when people like, oh, what's your favorite team? Like I'm like, I love the Giants, I love the Eagles. Like, and people like, no, I mean you can't love them both. Like I feel like the Eagles, was my first girlfriend or whatnot. And I feel like the Giants was like, like my wife. Like I know people don't want to like truly like, I guess, like bring it up, but like you remember your first girlfriend. And you also, when you married to your wife, of course, you know her, you love her, but you don't ever forget your first girlfriend. And that's how I feel with the Eagles and Giants. And so for me, like I always have love for another. I play for Jacksonville. Sometimes I would say 99% of the time, I don't even tell people that. And the craziest thing about it, like I made the most money in Jacksonville, but it's like, it's just different vibe. It was a different time in my life, but like the Giants and Eagles, like just, you can't put a dollar amount to that. You really can't.
What was it like playing for the Giants in comparison to playing for the Eagles? Like, I know you talked about some of the stories and some of the leadership you got there from Brian Dawkins and
Yeah.
Trent Cole and guys like that,
So
right? But
yeah,
the leadership with the Giants, you had Michael Strahan, right? OC,
Strahan, OC,
you
Plaxico,
right.
Tuck, Eli, like some Freddie Robbins, like so many great dudes. You know what it is? It's like um, somebody told me this, like, and this was actually before I've ever won a Super Bowl. But there's like when you win a championship, it's like different. Like it makes that bond like even tighter. And like I know for me, bro, like it may sound cheesy as hell, but like winning the championship with the Giants, like when I see these guys around Jersey or being at a golf outing, it's like, yo, there go my brother. Wait, what's up, yo? How the kids? How everybody? No, for real. And like it's still cool when I go. I do Eagle stuff too, and I go and I see my friends from the Eagles. It's always love, but like their love is so much different with like the Giants. But like I'll tell like another funny story is like I played for the Giants, and like then I go play for the Eagles first. Sorry, then I played for the Giants, and so when I went to the Giants, like I hated them. Shit, I'm at practice like, yo, I don't even like you. Like, no lie. And like everybody always think this is like, for the gram or Hollywood. Like my first play, Sean O'Hara, like I'm on scout team defense, boom, boom, boom. Like my hand must hit him in the throat. And he's like, yo, you were just trying to be a practice squad All-American? And then I'm like, I told him a couple words or whatnot. Like, whatever. Next play, Jeremy Shockey, the tight end. I'm the outside linebacker. And I'm like, boom, boom. He was like, yo, man, take it easy, bro. What are you? And then like, so my first two plays, I'm getting into it with cats that like I don't like. You gotta remember, like my whole year before, like I was almost programmed to hate everything about you. And now I'm like helping you like get better. But then like winning the Super Bowl with that squad, man, like those guys, like they truly are like my brothers. Like I'm trying to get Plaxico's son to go to my school now. Like Chris Nee, like all these guys, like David Tyree, like everybody that's in this era, like in this area, like just it's just different when we see each other. From like when I see Eli Manning, like it's like, yo, wait a minute, hey, that's 42 right there, and it's like, nah, man, I know it sounds cheesy, bro. I wish you could truly understand it. Like winning a championship, like just made it different because like I played on other teams. Like hell, I actually played on other teams longer, but like my relationship with the New York Giants is just different.
How was it that season? Because when we were doing our research, you get cut at the beginning of the year, you get brought
Yeah,
back, and then ultimately you end up winning the Super Bowl. Like, how was
yeah.
that roller coaster right there? Like,
It's such a roller coaster. Like not really like knowing you guys just keep it all the way 100 with you. Like my biggest story is what I tell my kids is like God's timing is like better than our own. So I get cut from the Eagles. I go to the Cowboys. I don't even like the Cowboys, even though I'm from Arkansas. My entire family, Arkansas don't have a pro team. My entire family, Cowboy fans. Like, because like we don't have anything else to, root for. And so like my family being Cowboy fans, like I get cut, I go work out for the Cowboys. Jerry Jones is from Arkansas. I killed the workout. They're like, yo, we really liked you. We love everything about you. This is week number 1. So I'm not on the team, but this week number 1. And so he was like, yo, I love everything about you. But like, as of right now, we don't know what we're going to do with Terry Glenn, because he was dealing with like an ankle or something. So we're not going to sign anybody. And so I was like, damn, I got back on the flight, went back to South Jersey. The next week I go to Tampa Bay. And then it's like, I'm trying, like Tampa Bay, like the coolest part about the Tampa Bay workout, it was just like nothing but linebackers. And John Gruden was the coach there. Everybody was like, yo, you the best linebacker here. But like, unfortunately, we're not going to sign anybody right now. And so I'm like, damn, man, it's over. I played 1 year in the league, and I'm like, damn, it's over. I want to say it was like week 7 or 8. Coach Spags was my linebacker coach when I was with the Eagles. And like after that year, he went to become the defensive coordinator with the Giants. And so he had been talking to him. And Coach Spags is hands down responsible for me being like a Super Bowl champion. And that's why to this day, like I love him. I'm like, he is like a father figure to me. Cause like, if not for him, like I had no better like advocate than Coach Spags, like saying like, hey, like get this guy a chance. And like working, I went from like being on practice squad to like working hard. When you're on practice squad, you just practice. You're kind of on the team, but like kind of not. So I'm on practice squad. I'm just working every week, just working. And then they were like, you know what? Hey, we putting you on the active roster. Then it was like, yo, I was like, damn, like I made it. And then I got on the active roster. We made this run 13 straight on the road. Like, and the irony to my little story, to go back to that, beat Tampa Bay first round, beat Cowboys second round, beat Green Bay third round to go to the Super Bowls. And like, if you remember what my story from the beginning, the first team I wanted to be on, Dallas Cowboys. Second team I wanted to be on, Tampa Bay. And so when I say like God's timing is better than my own, if it was up to me, I would have been on the Cowboys, because that was the first team that like I went to like, hey, pick me. And they didn't pick me. Then I went to Tampa Bay, hey, pick me. They didn't pick me. But like, I just feel like God was like, hey, it ain't your time yet. It ain't your time. And like, I questioned everything in between, like during those weeks that I wasn't even practicing. I didn't have a team. But then when I look back at it now, I was like, damn, man, like, thank you, Lord. Cause like, dude, like, it's just so like genuine and so cool that like when you don't really see it until you're removed from it, but being removed from it for quite a while now, it's like, damn, that's cool. Because if it was up to me, I would have been a Dallas Cowboy. And like, now, it would mean like, it's cool just to say you're in the NFL. It is definitely cool. But like, I know guys, hell, even on my team now, like I work with Nate Burleson. He played 12 years in the NFL, like big time receiver. He's Nate Burleson, 12-year veteran, Nate Burleson, NFL. But like when you say Tank Daniels, you say Super Bowl champion, and like they just give a little twist. Nate made way more bread than me. And like I only say that just to say like, like what I hear from others that didn't maybe achieve what I achieved. But like it's just something to be able to say, like, damn, like, yo, you're a Super Bowl champion. So when you mention my name, like the rest of my life, and even after my life, you'd be like, oh, that guy won the Super Bowl champion. So like that's why I think it's just cool to tell you. You really can't put a price tag on that to me. If you really think about it, like, yeah, there's thousands of guys that would say, oh, I was in the NFL. It ain't that many that could say, hey, I was a Super Bowl champion. So
1% of the population, right? That goes in the leagues and say they can win a Super Bowl championship. And as you were telling us about your journey, I'm thinking to myself, like the one word that came to my mind that kept popping in was resolve, right? It takes a lot of resolve to keep bouncing back after you hear no over and over and over again, right? Like that being said, when you like think about your career in its entirety, right? And it sounds like you're very comfortable with how your career turned out, right?
Yeah.
Because of not just Super Bowl championship, but also because I think you have a lot to be proud of, like overcoming that adversity, right? Like what pushed you through like the hard times, like when things didn't go your way, besides your faith. I know you used to like a man of faith.
I would say like my upbringing, when you come from nothing, like you don't expect nothing, you know what I'm saying? But like I'm proud of it. But like when I look back on my career, I wish, and like this is what I tell my kids, it's not about being cool. Even now, like I remember just blowing money, doing what like I think I was supposed to do, like trying to be cool. I'm in clubs, I'm trying to like pop bottles. And it's like I was never into like big chains or anything. But it's like I think like I remember my first car, I bought a like a Yukon Denali. I put 30-inch rims on there. And it's like my rims are so big, like I couldn't even like turn like tight. But like it's just like, but it was like I wanted to fit in. And like my whole life, like I told myself, I'm my own man, I'm my own man. But like it was like when I made it to the NFL, it was like I called myself trying to do what I thought I was supposed to do or do what others do. But like when I say like for me as a coach, when I try to like teach my kids, like, hey, just learn from my mistakes, man. I ain't trying to like come at you or come at your neck or whatnot, but like, hey, I thought I was cool too. You know, when I'm in the clubs and they bring in bottles and I'm buying drinks for people that I don't even know. I'm trying to make it rain. And it's like, I think about that now as a dad, bro. And it's like, damn, I wish I had that money, you know? But like, it's like, I just appreciate like the way I was raised, the way like my grandparents, my godmother, my mom, my siblings like treated me because like it truly did like make me like who I am, I guess. But like, so yeah, I'm proud of it. But like, there are some things I would definitely like change about it. And the one thing I would definitely change, at least from like where I'm from, like black people where I'm from, like they don't know how to like invest. They don't know how to like save for a rainy day. You know, like I was out there hood rich. Hell, if I made 100,000, I spent 90. You know, and it was like I wish like if I went back, like being like, do I really need to do this? But like, I think like I relate to a lot of like athletes even to this day because like when you don't come from anything, like you're getting you're getting informed from people that never had it. So like how like if you never had it, like how you telling me, oh, this is what you need to do. Oh, you know, that's why I know friends that have started and have like failed businesses because they like, yo, man, let's start a record label. You know, everybody in the neighborhood a rapper, you know what I'm saying? Or like, oh, like buy a car wash, buy a laundromat, buy a restaurant. And it's like I wouldn't change it, but I just wish I had a little more information about like uh, just investing and being smart with your money and just truly being your own man. Like I call myself my own man, but like I really wasn't. Like I went with the crowd because I lost myself for a little bit because I did what I thought NFL players were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be in clubs. Your truck's supposed to be limo tent with big rims and beating down the block. You know, like this that was cool in my day at least. And like when I look back at that, it's like I learned from it, but it's like, man, like what was I doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hindsight is 2020, and it's
Yeah.
tough sometimes when you look back and you see that. I know I've been guilty of that. My friend, been working since like 13. My first
Okay.
job, I look back at it and I tell this story all the time, which is why I'm so frugal now. My first job, I made probably around $2,000 that summer, right?
Okay.
I spent 1,500 just on food.
Yeah. Damn.
Just being stupid. Like my mom would cook and I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, I want steak tonight. Nah, I
Yep.
want this tonight. Just
Yeah.
stupid stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I got a car note now. Like
I know.
that could have been a used car right there. And I wouldn't have had to
So
like,
like when I graduated, when I went to college, I I had a like old school Buick, and like the car cost me $2,300. I had $1,800 rims on that thing. No lie, bro. So like I definitely relate to you. But I swear, like, it's funny how you say you work to like buy food. Like I worked all summer that year just to buy my little car. And like, man, the first time I got my little Pell Grant money, I bought rims. Like hell, I couldn't even eat. No lie, no lie whatsoever. Like I couldn't even eat during the semester, but I had rims on there. And like I may not even wash my car, but like my rims always was clean, bro. I promise you, like my car, like my rims is always clean. But
Oh man,
It's,
the
it's so
things we
relatable.
do.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
That's why, like, with my boys now, man, like, I just, I was just hood rich. You know what I'm saying? And like now, I just want to teach my kids like how to, truly value a dollar. I know my grandparents would like kick my butt if they were alive when I was doing that. But like, I went through this little rebellious stage, but as long as you grow from it, I don't feel like there's any mistake. Like just
hmm
learn. So like I definitely learned. So
yeah. That's the biggest thing is just learning and growing from the mistakes that
yeah.
we went through. You obviously coach. You coach
Yeah.
football. You see kids all different ages. You're a father yourself. Everybody has different perspective. We've asked a couple of former players like their
Yeah.
views on it. Would you let your children play football or kind of steer them
100%.
somewhere else?
No, 100%. Like, I mean, everybody. I can't tell somebody else how to father, but like I know for me, like I can't wait for my boy. I'm not gonna make them do anything. Like, but like you better believe, like even today we were outside playing catch, and it was like, you gonna play football? It's like, no, I'm not gonna play. It's like, all right, like so I asked him even now, but I don't see myself letting my kids play like pee wee and stuff. Like, I like my kids to maybe take my approach and play when your body's like physically, like if you ask me, like ready for it. Like I think it's cool, and I've seen like some 3-year-old, not 3-year-old, third grade, fourth grade, fifth graders that I'm like, dang, that little good, that little dude good. But it's like where the pads and helmet like bigger than them. So like I don't see me letting my kids do that. They could play flag, but as far as like when they ready to like hit, I think like eighth grade, like I'll let them play like tackle football. Ninth grade, I mean like I said, honestly, for me it worked out. Hell, I didn't play tackle football until I was in the ninth grade, so I don't see any reason for them to like rush through it. But I love everything that I learned from this game. The mental toughness. The one thing that like the way I try to raise my kids, like if you start playing anything, you don't have to play again, but like you're going to finish it because like that's the type of man that I want to be. So you may not play it again, but like if you ask to start it, I don't really agree with quitting anything. And so like from fucking karate to football, basketball, whatever they ask to do, if you sign up, you're gonna see it all the way through. You don't have to play again, but we don't do the quitting stuff in this house.
I think that's crucial. My parents were the same way. If you
Yeah,
signing up for it, you finishing it through. There's no
yeah,
quitting in between. Like, oh, I don't like it no more.
yeah.
Oh well.
Yep. I don't care if it's the coach, my team not good, whatever. Like, now you seeing it all the way through. Because I feel like that's just teaching you uh another lesson like in life. Like see things all the way through. Like, yeah, it's gonna be shaky, yeah, it's gonna be hard. But sometimes you just need to see it all the way through.
For sure, for sure.
Uh,
Do you still watch football now?
I do.
Uh,
I was actually watching it. Like I'm in my little kitchen right now, but like I was actually watching the Eagles play. They looking good with Hurts. I watched the red zone to be honest with you, unless like there's like a real good game like I watch like, but I usually just watch the red zone to just watch every game. But like I still love football. It's so different. Like I said, like man, like I'm so proud to say that I played in the era that I played in because I feel like the game was still tough. From being a special teams guy, like
mm,
like they was gonna run the ball out every time. So it wasn't like because they moved it up 5 yards. And so
yeah,
now that's why you see it kicked out the back of the end zone, go through the uprights. But like during my time, like you could lock up 4 people and like boom. Like one of my first job was like I was a 5 on kickoff, which means I just had to like run and try to take out 2 people. Like my job was not even to make the tackle, but like football was tough. I love how they trying to like. I love how we're getting smarter, like with the head injuries and things like that. But like I wouldn't change like what I did either, Because like I honestly don't know if I would have made the NFL with the way it is now. Like if you hit somebody hard now, it's whoa, it's a flag. You can't do that. But like, man, I'm seeing Brian Dawkins hit guys breaking ribs, seeing a grown man out there wheezing. You know what I'm saying? And like, yo, like it was like, yeah, like, and that's why like I know my respect for like guys like T.O. Because like when you ran across the middle, that meant you were tough because you knew somebody was knocking your head off. You know what I'm saying? But like now, if you run across the middle, nobody can hit you. They can't hit you from the shoulder up. And if they go too low, that's a penalty. Like everything's a flag. So like I love the area that I grew up in. I wouldn't change any of that like for nothing.
That's so interesting that you say that too. 'Cause I know they're taking a lot of steps on trying to make the game safer, right? Because they had a lot of the head injuries and took a little heat for a lot of the concussions and CTE that foreign players have been through and all that stuff. Like in your eyes, right? You're coaching too now, and I just want to, because you just made me think as you were saying that. Like, what are you teaching like your players? How are you teaching them to tackle on the defensive side of the ball?
I definitely love like your head out of it, like keeping your head out of the tackle, shoulders, and you know like rugby tackling. But like I said, like my day was like it's like boom and boom like head, but and then also too it's like as far as teaching safety, excuse me, like if you don't feel right, communication is the key. Like, but I know for me, like you almost were taught like, hey, seeing stars, that means you got a good hit. But like now, like as an educator, that mean like, hey, wait a minute, well, you saw stars, you know, you need to sit down for a minute. You know, like let's make sure you're okay. But like I'm from that school of like when you saw stars, that means you had a good hit. And like knowing what I know now, they say like those are like the mini concussions. Everybody only think about concussions when the guy is like walking sideways. But like they say the study showed that like seeing stars is like the first sign of concussion. And like, but I know my age group thought seeing stars meant like, y'all, you just hit them good. Boom. Like, yeah. Like, that meant that was a good thing. But like, as far as like what I try to teach my kids, try to teach them to like keep their head out of it. But like, even with this, like one thing a good friend of mine told me, like football, like is a gladiator sport. You know what I'm saying? Like if you really think about the word gladiator sport, and like, you know, I always use the same analogy as like NASCAR. Like nobody want to see the wrecks, but they want to see the wrecks. You
That's
know,
true.
you don't tune in to the games and be like, everybody like the one hand OBJ catches, but like those big hits, like, oh boy, he got blasted. Like that's like we as mankind, like we just don't truly want to accept like who we are. Like, cause like we're almost drawn to that. Like, look at the rubbernecking, like on the highway. There's an accident. You're like, man, there's an accident on my side of the highway. It's on the other side. Like your side just too busy, like looking, being like, oh, they want to see a dead body. They want to see a neck hanging out the window because we're gladiators. And I only say that just to state this. It's like football, like is a gladiator sport. And I think we're doing a really good job on making it safe, but like it's still a gladiator sport.
I agree. I agree all the time. And when I watch football, even today, right? You're calling it soft, and it is, by the way. It definitely is. You can see the difference. But like even now, I watch it. I'm like, man, I can't run a slant. Like I would never run a slant if I'm like, you know. I don't know. I'm Odell. I'm not coming across the middle even now. I'm scared. I'm gonna get my head taken off even now. Like, so it's so crazy. It's so funny you're saying that because like just hearing from someone who played in that era, because like you were the one delivering those hits, like you know, in that era. So no, I find that really interesting getting in that mentality. You know, one question I had too. I know you played in the NFC East, right? Like you love the Giants, love the Eagles.
Yep.
So you see the train wreck that is the NFC East right
know,
now.
Man.
Who do you think is going to come out the NFC East? Like, who do you think is going to win?
I don't know. I thought the Giants was like hot, man. And then today, like they were tripping with Arizona.
Yeah.
Like, I love what the team in Washington. I can't even lie. I wouldn't be surprised if they sneak up and like get it, to be honest. Like the Eagles look like they're gonna win tonight. The Giants, Like everybody's kind of going to beat up on each other, like the way they always do. But like, man, I was really watching like the Redskin game. Like Chase Young looked like he's going to be LT, bro. Like this kid, like yo, like man, he's doing it all. Like yo, like I'm a fan. Like yo, like man, that kid looks special. Like he look Hall of Fame and I know he's a rookie, but like I'm definitely sipping that Kool-Aid. But like as far as like who can win it, I don't really see the Eagles having a chance anymore because like they are in disarray. Their O-line is like in shambles. So like I would like my heart says I want the Giants to win it. But I wouldn't be surprised like if the Redskins like snuck in and like made some noise, especially if they pull off this victory today.
As you were speaking, I pulled up the score. It's 23-15 with 5:30 left in that game.
Oh man,
and it's Chase Young. He wrecks football games.
The dude scored. He had a sack.
He had Scoop and scored today too, right?
Scoop, yeah. Like he's really beating them by himself.
He's incredible. He's incredible.
Yeah.
And so he's making all the difference for them. They could easily win this division. It wouldn't surprise me. You know, again, it's that same formula the Giants had when you played in 07. Front fours. We rush four, and we can drop back in coverage, right? Because we know our four is better. We get sacks with our four, and that's what they do.
So, man.
You know,
exactly.
It's crazy.
It is, man. But
Chase Young is something. He's something different. If he stays healthy, like you said, that's a Hall of Fame career right there. Man.
Yeah. Who your squad?
He's a Giants fan.
Now, who are you? Man, I'm talking about you, Antonio. Go ahead. Speak on it.
Cowboys fan, man.
Oh, wow. You one of those, huh? You think they're going to pay Dak now?
Man, the fact that Jerry Jones came out last week kind of critiquing Dak about, he takes too many hits. The play that happened, it wasn't that he took a hit. It was a freak play on his ankle. Like, I don't know, man. I've been upset with them since like week 3. I haven't really been.
You think they're gonna pay him though?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah. All right. Would you pay him?
I'd pay him. I'd pay him. I would have paid him last year.
So you're gonna give him $100 million?
I'll give him $100 million.
All right.
I'll give him $100 million.
Yo, man, I respect the kid, man, especially when he like spoke about his mental like illness and whatnot, man, like his struggles. Like I really respected that. But then it's like that was a bad business move by him. But like I love him being like true to himself. But I feel like they're gonna use everything against him for like for him to get paid.
That's a good point. I never thought about it that way.
That's why I see Jerry Jones,
bro.
That's exactly why I see Jerry Jones using that. Like, he likes him as a player, but Jerry Jones is a businessman. So
business. Business.
If I can save some money, do this.
Yeah.
I get somebody cheaper.
What's the alternative option if you don't sign Dak? Like, what are you doing? You're drafting. They're not going to have a high enough pick to get a great QB in this draft.
So they messing themselves up because they starting to win these games that don't mean anything.
They won today.
No,
they won today. Like,
I know.
Who you go get?
But they still, it looked like they have a top 5 pick.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I think they'll try, knowing how they normally do. They might try to go through the draft. I mean, Dak Prescott was a 4th round pick, which is even more of a reason why you need to pay that man. He's a 4th round pick.
They literally hit the lottery. They literally hit the lottery, and they're going to give it up. And a team like, I can't put my finger on it. A lot of these teams that don't have quarterbacks now are like surging, and they're going to draft one, right? Like Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence and guys like that. So we'll see. But Dak will have suitors. The Colts could easily be a team that pick him up. Just thinking about it.
All right, who do you pick, Fields or Lawrence? If you're a GM and you got the number 1 pick, you got a top 3 pick. I'll give you that. You got a top 3 pick. Who do you pick, Fields or Lawrence?
Lawrence, but Fields is almost underappreciated in the conversation. I think he's good, man. Like he's got. I think he's more athletic than Lawrence, but Lawrence is athletic. but Lawrence throws a really good ball. Like
Yeah,
he throws a really good
yeah,
ball.
yeah.
I go Lawrence, but I think it's closer than people think it is. And I think that when we get
Okay.
closer to the draft, you're gonna start hearing more about Fields because Fields is not talked about nearly as much as he should be in the
Okay.
conversation. So yeah, I'll go
All
Lawrence there
right. All
by a
Yeah,
right.
hair.
I think it's a yeah, like you say, it's a win-win. Whoever you end up choosing. If I'm a
Yeah.
GM, I gotta see what's around my quarterback to see who I would take. Maybe you feel me. If it's the Jets, maybe you want to go with Lawrence. But I mean, these top two teams, I think whoever gets picked by Jacksonville, if Jacksonville
Yeah.
gets that number two, they're going to end up having a better season because I think Jacksonville
Yeah.
has more
You think
readily.
Jacksonville will take a quarterback?
Yeah, I think so.
I
I
think
think
so.
so.
Yeah.
I don't
I don't
think they
even believe
believe
in
in
what they
Minshew no
have.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why he number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How
They
far
don't,
he's
they don't
falling?
believe
Like
in Minshew.
yeah, I think they're
Yeah.
gonna go with the quarterback there too. And they have a lot of
Yeah.
picks, so that they'll get a lot of good talent, got a lot of good young players around, and they'll start trying to rebuild day by day. But
Yeah.
we know the Jets taking Trevor Lawrence. We know that's happening. We don't have to guess
Yeah.
that. There's no guessing game there.
There's no guessing behind that. Yeah, there's no guessing behind that.
Yeah, with them, it's just like their organization, man. Like, do they keep Gase? Do they keep the GM there? Like,
Yeah,
The
get it cleared
GM
house.
gonna save his job maybe, but the only way he save his job is if he fired Gates.
Mm.
You know, but
Which is a no-brainer for him.
yeah,
it should be.
Easy
It
choice.
should be.
Him or me.
that's why like even with them firing like the D coordinator, like
Mhm.
my coach told me like seriously in high school shit run downhill, so like the top dog ain't gonna get it first, you know. So
It's true.
yeah,
Transition into the quickness segment. With the quickness, we're gonna ask you
okay,
some rapid fire questions. Basically,
okay,
whatever comes to your head first, that'll be your answer. Start off with a little fun one. It's Christmas time. Are you a
okay.
last minute or early shopper for Christmas?
I'm 100% last minute. Even like I was actually talking about that today with a friend of mine. Even with like COVID and stuff, like everybody's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, you know, I've already ordered like through Amazon and this and that. And I was like, no, I'm a last minute guy, man. I'll go on the 22nd, man, and make it happen.
My parents were the same. They would actually do like a little competition with each other and like would go
Yeah,
out the 2 days before Christmas Eve and
yeah,
the day before. They would just sleep during the day,
yeah,
make me watch my siblings, and they would go out
yeah.
all night and just
I
shop.
know. Yeah, that's me, bro. Like, and I don't know why I do that, but like, I almost feel like that's just my thing now. But definitely last minute.
So you play for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep.
Geno's or Pats?
All right. So my favorite one is Jim's on South Street.
I've heard
So
good
if you ever
things.
been to Philly, Jim's on South Street, Delisandra. But like, if I got to strictly go with Geno's or Pat's, I got to go with Gino.
I've
Gotta get
had
down
I've
there.
had Jim. Jim's.
So
I personally don't think Geno's and Pat's have the best cheesesteaks there. It's just
yeah,
more of the historic
yeah.
aspect.
All right, are you what you whiz or what? Provolone.
Provolone.
Oh man, bro, where you from, man?
I'll eat the whiz, but I like the provolone. I'm from
Oh
Jersey,
man, bro, are you from Jersey? Where?
West Orange area.
Okay, man. I'm like, damn, man, provolone. Come on, bro. Don't be so black out here, man. Get the cheese whiz, dog.
I'll keep that in mind when I get down to Philly. 'Cause I ain't even had one of them yet from Philly. Like I haven't had,
For real, you honestly, you got to try it. And like, to me, I feel like it's the best like after game, but like that's where everybody go. I mean, like it's
Jeez.
packed there. Geno's and Pat's, and they side by side. But like South Street, it'd be a line around the block, you know,
Jeez.
and like yeah, like you just sit there and wait. And
But it's that
man, like
good.
it is
It's
that
worth it.
good. I can't even
It's
lie. And then
it's definitely worth it.
like hell, I think I like stood up, ate my sandwich, eating chips. Imagine like this, like greasy, like cheesesteak, standing up, have my little drink and chip and a bag of chips. Like yo, it was good though, man.
Jeez, that
You
sounds
got
good
to
right
go to
about now.
gyms on South Street.
For the one time, you get the first cheesesteak with cheese whiz, and then you get a second one with the provolone.
Oh man, come on.
Mm.
All right. Do you do the onions at least?
Of
Yeah, you
course,
have to. You
of
have
course,
to.
I was
You
gonna
have
of
say,
to.
course.
all right. Do you like yours like the well done, like the black ones, or like the fresh onions?
I say
I
fresh
do
one.
both.
Yeah.
I
I
do
like
both.
them. I like them things looking like Wesley Snipes out there, man. Put them dark boys on me, man.
It definitely give a different taste than the raw onion.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real. Yeah,
I like caramelized onions
yeah.
in general over raw onion for the
All right.
most part. You played in Philly, you played for the Giants. If you had to pick a place that is the best to you between Jersey and Philly, which was
That one rough, man. Like Philly, my wife and I was talking about it a little bit before I got on here. Like Philly is like similar to where I grew up, but like living in Jersey now, and Jersey being my home, like I feel like a fat boy, man. Like I just eat. Like my club nights are like good restaurants now. And so like that's why I would say like Jersey, because like I've eaten from like Indian, Thai, Italian, um, like there's every type of food, like, and I mean like some like phenomenal like restaurants. And like Philly, same, like had great restaurants, but like just different. But like I feel like I guess like my early years, I would say like Philly, because of the nightlife or whatnot. But then like the dad, husband, and the OG in me would say Jersey.
ain't nothing like home. It's nothing like
Yeah.
home. Who's your Super Bowl winner this year?
Oh man. Which they stole one today, but like when the Chiefs are on point, like I don't see how anybody can beat them.
Nah,
Like, man, they got so many weapons, man. It's like I'm a defensive guy, but like when the Chiefs are on point, like I'm like, how can you stop them?
it's
Hell, Le'Veon Bell is one of their second or third running backs. Hell, and then they got like so many weapons. Kelsey, there is no line. Like being a linebacker, that's who most of the time linebackers are like supposed to cover. It's like, man, what am I do with this, man? I can't cover this guy, man.
no.
Like this dude is like a weapon. Then uh you got the cheetah out there, you got Sammy Watkins, you just got so many weapons. And like what I love about Andy Reid is he's such a brilliant mind. Like his
Mm-hmm.
play calling, like he gonna do 6, 7 plays that you never even thought of. And it's
Yep.
like, oh, what the hell? Like, yo, how did they do that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
so I can see the Chiefs winning it. My NFC team, I don't know. The NFC so crazy. But I gotta
Yeah.
say, like when Russell is on point, he had the Seahawks looking good. But like I don't know. Like I feel like the NFC is like different. It's hard to choose. Like I just as easy can say Aaron Rodgers will get the Packers there.
Mhm.
Like it's kind of wide open, but the AFC, I don't know. Like it'd be hard pressed for me to say somebody could beat the Ravens. Or not the Ravens, but the Chiefs outside of the Ravens. But
Mhm.
then the Ravens look like they can't throw the ball at times. So
Mhm.
that'd be a problem.
This is not on the docket, but you brought up the Ravens. If you're the GM, if you're Ozzie Newsome, are you giving Lamar Jackson that big contract?
Man, just for the culture, to be honest with you, like I love how like he's been true to himself. Nah, I'm just keeping it real
I,
with you.
I love it. I love
Like
your
I
answer.
love like I only see I see the same thing you guys see, but like I'm
Mm-hmm.
like he just like that's the hood quarterback. He the all time hood quarterback.
I
But
love it.
then it's like if you telling me that I'm the GM and like my kids got to eat and live off how good he do,
Mm.
I ain't doing it, man. And I got nothing but
Mm.
respect for the guy. For real. I ain't trying to take a pop shot at my boy, but like I'm like, I don't know if you're that guy. Because what happens with the NFL, we would from my first year in the league until my last year. Like anybody can do it once. That's what the defensive guys say. But like, can you do it like after everybody like figure out who you are? And so if you kind of ponder on that a little bit, like you'll see guys like come out of nowhere and do great. But then when everybody kind of figure out who you are and they say, okay, now what can you do? And then if you could ball, you're a baller. Look at Tebow. Look at other quarterbacks. I'm not trying to like hate on anybody, but like you got all these guys that have that one hit. You know, they came out with, you know, that one hit, but they one hit wonders because once the NFL figure you out, can you still ball? And so if you still can ball, that's when I say like, oh man, like that, hey, that guy baller. Because he like there's some longevity with it.
I agree with you 100%. I equate it to like in the NBA, like you see guys in regular season have crazy numbers in the playoffs. They lock in on what you can't do, and they're gonna force you to do what you can't do. It's the same thing in the NFL. In the regular season, you may ball out.
Playoff Paul.
It's right.
Playoff Paul. Dog, he just hit the jackpot.
What happened? What is going on? I've never seen. Yo, he hit the lottery. They gave him 226.
That boy hit the mega millions on us.
Jeez, hit the side of the backboard. Got that one.
Yeah, most and then left it up too. Like, oh, damn. Yeah, if you hit the side of the backboard, put it down quick. That's all I'm saying. Oh man. You got to grab you. If you hit the side of the backboard, grab your ankle or something, man.
Yeah, you gotta go down. Go down. Mix it up.
Hey, to not do your job well, it's not many places in this world where you get a raise.
I know
this guy got a raise.
I know.
So shout out to him. Shout out to
Paul George.
Fact, last one before we get you out of here. 5 people, dead or alive, that you'll have a meal with.
Yeah, so like that was such a great question. And like for me, like the older I get, I was never really into like history, but like for me, like somebody like Martin Luther King, like being able to have a meal with and be like, yo, like how did you do that? Like, yo, man, you went the peaceful route when you truly was just, you know, just trying to fight for equalities and like rights for everybody, to like truly turn the other cheek. Love to have a meal with him. Like Tupac to me, like is just more than a rapper. Like was it 2020? And I still feel like Tupac's songs like resonate. And it's like, damn, like he was like a prophet, like before his time. Like I would love to have a meal with Barack Obama. For one, being the first Black president. 2, he just looked like he just cool as hell, man. Like all the interviews that I see and stuff, and like just being like, you know, like an athlete, like being able to shoot some hoops, talk shit to each other. And like I would love to know like some of those like stories that we'll never know. You know, like what was some of the most like racist things that happened to you as the president of the United States of America? You know, like some stuff that never come out, you know, on CNN. I guess my 4th one would be like my dad. Like I said, like my dad died when I was 2. Like I really don't remember my dad, but like my dad is everything that I am, at least in my mind, like my uncles and stuff. And so like it's like being able like to have a meal to be like, damn, Dad, like did I get this from you or who did I get this from? You know, because even when I see my kids now, like one of my boys would do some stuff and I'm like, damn, that's definitely me. Like just crazy. Like just jump off the couch, do a somersault. And I'm like, yo, like who taught you that? Like, yo, like he's just crazy. But like, and I guess like my last one, like it was honestly like really hard. But like, who did I say? Like I would love to like have a meal with Muhammad Ali, you know, and just because like being an athlete myself, I'm like, and this was a good year to like kind of judge it by too with the social unrest and stuff like in our country. And like Muhammad Ali was like at the prime of his life and was like willing to like stand on what he believed in. and like to be like, you know what, like no, like I don't believe in that, and I'd rather go to prison than to like go fight in a war that like I don't stand for. And it's like, damn, like I forget it, but like then I put on my, you know, my NFL hat or whatnot, and I'm like, would I do that? And it kind of like go into something else. And sorry, we can get off here after this, but it's like I've been asking myself, like, would I kneel? Like if I was in the league, like would I kneel? And it's like um, when I say like a guy like Muhammad Ali, and it's like as much as like I would say I'm like a corporate thug, you know, like I put the title like, oh hey everyone, but then it's like it has gotten like so bad that like I truly get it. And like from some of these young guys, like they're teaching me, to be honest with you. And so like that's why I would love to have a meal with like a Muhammad Ali and some of these young guys out there right now. They're saying like, you know what, like hey, like I'm willing to like maybe lose an endorsement. We're like, no, I can't stand for that. And like, cause sometimes like I was always just raised to be like, hey, get your money,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just play. But I feel like until we just stop and say like enough is enough, like I feel like I was a part of the problem, to be honest with you.
Mm.
Cause like it's like we need like people to finally stand up and be like, you know what? Nah, like I'm not just like I love LeBron. Huge LeBron fan. Huge LeBron fan. Cause it's like, nah, I'm more than an athlete. So when people be like, oh, like, what do you know? Like, you haven't went through anything. Like, you have millions of dollars. Like, he know the same thing that I know and that you guys know. And that's how it is to like walk this earth as a black man, walk this country like as a black man. So like, I didn't mean to go like on this like rant, but like it's those type people that like I know this honestly, like I've learned so much like this year, 2020, COVID-19, just through seeing like the moves of like athletes, because it's like, oh, I once did that. And then I'm like, damn, look at this. I love the way they moving, especially the NBA. So like that's just my little spill.
Hey, nah, we appreciate that. Everything
Real.
you just said there is facts. It really it culminates the whole episode with
Yeah.
which I think is going to be the title of the episode, Be Your Own Man. Like that's
Yeah.
really what it boils down to. What they've been all the athletes that are speaking out, they're being their own individuals, and the great thing is that they have numbers with it. So it's one
Yeah.
thing, like Muhammad Ali he was his own man and stood by himself.
Yeah.
Now you have people actually following the leadership of players like
Yep.
LeBron and Kaepernick. So
Yep.
I think that's dope. We definitely appreciate everything you just said right there.
For real.
Before we hop off, Greg, you got anything else you wanna get off your chest? Anything?
Come on, man. Give me some, man.
Hey man, listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little, your pick of the Redskins is kind of resonating with me right now a little bit. I
Yeah.
think they're gonna. I think, God, I'm hoping the Giants can pull it off. I hope they win 2 out of the next
Yeah.
3. Man,
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. They have a game on Sunday night. They got flex to the Sunday night game.
I know.
So they got the Browns next one. They got the Browns. So we'll see how that goes. But the defense is playing pretty well. So we'll see
The
how that
defense
goes.
playing is good. Offense can't
Yeah,
put up points right now.
it's the prize. The
So
offense can't
and
score.
then like you can't turn the ball over. Like I know Coughlin,
You know
like
what?
he had this big slogan: turnovers lose games.
Fact. That's one of the
Like,
facts.
yo,
So let me ask you a question.
yeah,
Did you watch that Giants game at all?
I did.
Did you think that Daniel Jones's fumbles today cost the Giants that game?
100%.
You do.
Like, yeah, man.
You think
You
that's the reason
can't
why? The main reason why they lost is because
you
Daniel Jones fumbled the ball.
can't do that. Football is a momentum game, and
Okay.
like you can't turn the ball over.
I
Like we
100% agree with that. By the
soon
way.
as we start moving, then it's fumble. Damn.
At-
Like, yo, bro.
so the fumbles. Well, this is worth mentioning. That I think what did any of them end up in like actual turnovers? I think one did. Did they recover one of them? One did. One did. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
but the 2 they did. All right, so that's fair enough. I wanted to know. I'm about to your expertise. You are a former NFL player. I'm gonna take
But
that on the.
I
I'll
don't
take
want
it
to
on the
come
chin.
across like I'm some Picasso or something, but like I just don't think you could turn the ball over
I
and
agree.
expect to win the game.
That's a
And
fact.
then when you talk about momentum, I know being a defensive guy, like it's always like we'd be like, yo, it's all right, we got you. But then you do that, then you fumble again, and then again, it's like, yo, what the Come
Yeah,
on,
no.
man.
It gets to a place where you're like, yo, you keep putting me in my end zone trying to defend.
Yeah,
I'm my back's against the wall here. Like, I think
they got 20 yards to go, and they're professional football players.
It's ridiculous. I think all things considered, the defense did a really good job today.
I really like the defense.
Okay, one more question, Tank. One more time. One question for you,
bro.
So, is Daniel Jones a franchise quarterback? What do you think? Do you think he will be?
I don't see it, man. I don't see it.
Ooh, that hurts, Greg.
I don't see it, man. I'm sorry.
It's crazy,
see it, man.
It's crazy. I don't blame anybody who says that. I really don't. Like, if you are on the fence about it, look, I understand.
They sold me with and I've met the guy maybe twice, and he has very similar
mannerisms as Eli.
Yeah,
Eli.
Damn, you're a mind reader. Yeah, bro.
That's what you knew you talking about.
That's exactly what I was about to say. But,
I knew we need to say that.
But so they kind of sold me with that, but then I'm like, I don't see it, man. He can scramble a little bit, not being able to take care of the ball, not being able to make the big time throws.
Really?
I'm like, I don't know.
The throws one, that one hurts.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is
the throws one hurts because I think he throws a really nice deep ball. I really do. I really, really do. I really believe that.
Okay, when you say a deep ball, I would agree, but I'm saying like clutch. It's 3rd and 15 in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
You throwing to Steve Smith on the out route.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
No, for real. That's a good point.
So,
I also don't. And here's where I'm coming from before we head out, because this is we're going over. Here's what I would say, so I don't feel like the Giants have put him in position to where they can fairly evaluate this guy's talent.
Nope, he ain't got no pieces. Saquon went down, so I'm with you.
Right.
I thought the tight end would be a little better.
Yeah, it's upsetting.
I thought he'd be a little better.
He had one catch today.
Yeah, one catch.
They don't get open. The receivers don't get open.
Yeah,
the line is inconsistent.
And they say the line is inconsistent because it takes longer when you're not an elite receiver to get open.
That's so true. And that's so fair. So we blaming the receivers more. I'm with that. I'm okay with that.
Man, hell, you can't name one of the receivers. Who if I were to ask a casual fan, name a Giants receiver, they're gonna say the tight end.
They're gonna say Ingram.
They're gonna say the tight end.
That's so true. And it's not even a receiver.
Think about that.
That's wild. It's a really good point. Hey, so moral of the story is the book's still out on Daniel Jones because you gotta get him around. You gotta get him with pieces to see what he is.
Put some pieces around him.
All right, give him a chance.
I want to see him with Saquon, but last year he had Saquon, but it was his first year.
So right. So still,
still out. So this year he didn't have it. So next year, look, hey, you ain't getting an extension until I see what you do.
I think next year's make or break.
2021.
I agree. Make or break 100%. Year. I agree. That's a fact.
Yeah,
I'll take that. That's why I'm at, Tony. That's what I be saying.
We on it. Look, hey Tank, this is a conversation in the group chat.
Yeah,
dag near every week, every other episode is Greg and the other co-hosts we have on that be going back and forth all the time. So I knew this was going to come up. And everything you just said, I know he's going right after this. He's going to go jump in the group chat like, "Yo, Tank Daniel said this, so you wrong." All right. I already know how this is going to go.
The fumbles point is fair. No, it's fair. The fumbles are ridiculous. I agree. I don't know if that's why we lost today. I don't know. I think we lost because we played like crap as a unit, as an offensive unit.
Yeah, as an offensive unit, I feel like it would have got ugly if the defense didn't play as solid as they did.
But the fumbles are unacceptable. So hey,
the
wise.
I got a quick question for you guys, man. How did y'all start the podcast?
So pretty much this started actually next month makes it a year anniversary. Cool. I have my own YouTube channel and studio where I just create a bunch of different content. I have a show with my wife. I do a cooking show, all this, and I'm like, yo, I went to school for sports management. I've played ball my whole life. Let's do a podcast about sport. So last year started one with one of my co-hosts, Miles.
Yeah.
And then what is it now, Greg? What, like 3 weeks? A month
We've
now?
been on almost a month that we've been on like as a group.
Yeah.
I added Greg and my man Jod to the group, and then we just started doing it. It's kind of tough because of COVID, whatnot. Everything is Zoom.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the hey, let's do it.
Yeah.
And that's
So
how it started, pretty
what's
much.
your ultimate goal? Like, what's your dream goal with this?
Just longevity and consistency.
Cool.
I have a list of a bunch of people I want to interview, but
cool.
I think with the longevity and networking, we'll be able to get other athletes and entertainers and everything like that.
Cool, man. That's good, bro.
Oh man.
Well, yeah.
I'd love to get a Eli interview or Tom. I'm a Giants guy, but get interviews, just get crazy interviews like that, like in that stature.
Yeah, I got you. Well, dude, you guys, I Instagram you like my number. Anything I can ever do to help, like, definitely feel free, like, to reach out. I like seeing guys trying to chase your NFL. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, somebody help me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't say, I did it all by myself. Like, people was helping me train, helping me put me in the right direction. So, like, seriously, like, on a real note, like, if there's ever anything I could do, like, you guys let me know. But, like, keep going, man. The same way you guys ask questions and shit, like let this be, like, just a start for you. And, like, I wish you guys nothing but, like, the best. And, whatever I could do to help, like, feel free to reach out.
Hey, Tank, I appreciate that, man.
It's definitely appreciated. We thank you for your time. If you know anybody, any of your former athletes who just bored, they ain't got nothing to do, they want to talk to some young kids, some young interviewers.
Hey, so you grew up at West Orange, right?
Yeah.
So my boy, because we were roommates on the road, Jay Alford, he went to East Orange, I think. Played at Penn State. He was on the Giants team. A couple people. I'll send them your way, for real, though. I'll text them right now, and then I'll tell them to follow you on Instagram. Actually, hold on, man. Let me go. Sorry, real quick. Because I don't know his stuff, man. But Jay was my roommate on the road.
Speaking of roommate, real quick, do you think you could have did NFL Now with COVID? And you know how they got certain parameters and you can't go out.
No. I'm gonna send it to you. Like, I gotta get my wife to help me, man. I'm not real technically sound.
No, you good.
No problem.
We appreciate that. It's a thought.
Like, no, I have some other, like, for real. Everybody in this, like, when I say everybody, like, it's probably about 20 of us that still live in Jersey. I know Jay lives in Jersey. Like I said, I just saw Plaxico the other day. I see Money all the time, Money Toomer. Brandon, the OG, he live in Georgia, though. So, but
Brand Jacobs?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's my dude, man. Like, that's my boy for real. But nah, look, I promise you, like, I ain't fucking gonna dodge you anymore. But, like, hit me up. But, like, I'm gonna reach out to Jay. I think Jay will be good. He another guy from 42. Like, and, like, Jay was, like, big time. He was a 3rd round draft pick. But, like, I know that he's just kind of training right now and doing some stuff. I actually think he's still working for the NFL. So, yeah. So, like, I'll give you his contact and stuff.
Awesome.
Much appreciated. Thank you for hopping on. Those that's listening, those that see this, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share it, tag a friend. Even if you're not talking to the person, share it with them. Y'all know the vibes. It's Bench Mob. We bring people together. So if y'all not talking, this could help bring y'all together. It's sports. Y'all can connect through that. But Bench Mob, you know the vibes. If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. Bench Mob, we out.
Peace.
All right.